This is the Pat Nat Cast, a podcast hosted by Pat Nat Games. Today I'm joined by Kirblae. He's known for his video analysis essays, where he specifically likes to, or at the very least has a knack for, ranking various elements of the game against each other to see which ones reign supreme, even if that means going through a laundry list of items. Kirblae, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I like to torture myself with rankings sometimes. I like doing that, honestly.
Was that a proper enough intro for you? Do you feel validated through that?
Yeah. I don't even know what I would say about myself, so I think that's the best way. I'm gonna start saying that.
Nobody does know what to say about themselves, and that's why I stopped. That's why I stopped asking people to do the introduction for themselves, because they never knew what to say. And I was like, all right, well, I'll do the heavy lifting. I will come up with some intro. This was the fastest I've come up with someone's intro, by the way. So I hope you guys appreciate how quickly I brought that into fruition. Either way, welcome to the show. We're gonna start off with a simple little icebreaker question. Are you ready, Kirblae, for an icebreaker?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
This will hopefully get people to know Kirblae a little bit more. What I have is a list of games that I am 95% sure that you have played before. And in this list of games, I want you to rank them one by one as A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, E tier, and F tier. Yep. Now, the thing is that you can only put one game per tier, and you don't know what the future games are going to be. So you're going to have to very carefully place your tiers with these games. And you might possibly cause some real tears from other people when they hear some blasphemous placement, but at least they know you're doing it under pressure, possibly a weapon. I don't know. At least you don't know. You can't see what kind of weapon I'm wielding. But at the very least, you're doing it under pressure. So, any questions?
I'm prepared for that. No, I'm prepared to make some tears rain down. I'm ready.
Okay, perfect. I just thought it was appropriate since you like to rank a bunch of stuff. Let's have you rank some more things,
Of course,
Starting off, the very first game, okay? And remind you, it's A through F for tiers.
Okay, no
The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, okay. But I'm gonna have to say straight away, if A is the top, I'm gonna have to say A. I think this is my favorite game of all time. I've had is it been 2 years? I've had 2 years to sit on it, and pretty much straight away after I played that game, I instantly knew it was my favorite game. But there are some close calls. There are some close calls up there where I would call other games just as good, 10 out of 10 experiences. But I don't know, Tears of the Kingdom is just really special, and I don't see another game kind of reaching the innovation that it did, despite being a sequel.
It disrupts the Zelda formula so much to add this creativity to pretty much every aspect, giving you so much freedom. The freedom is to the extent of your own knowledge in a way. That's something that very much breaks what used to be a very closed door formula of the original Zelda games. And I find it interesting with Tears of the Kingdom is that it's almost either loved or hated. There's not a lot of
I get that.
In between. It feels like. I personally love it. I think it's great. I probably still prefer Breath of the Wild, but I appreciate them both for what they are. And I had a great time with it. The next game, possibly causing you to regret putting this in A, probably not.
Maybe.
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Pokemon Legends Arceus. Okay, straight away I'm gonna say I'm not regretting putting that in A, because
sure.
I've played Pokemon Legends Arceus, but I'm not a Pokemon guy, and Pokemon Legends Arceus was really the game I heard from my friends where they were like, oh, this one's different. If you like to kind of Breath of the Wild, I guess. Yeah, if you like that, that's what I've heard. This is a little more in tune with that. So I tried it out, and I just did not like it. I don't really think I like RPGs in general, and it's a pretty
I'm on the same
safe RPG, but it's still just an RPG to me. And I think it's maybe a little too safe in a lot of ways. Where if a game was something like Expedition 33, where it's a little more intense, I can find that pretty cool. I can find that pretty cool. But Pokemon's just a little too safe, and What were the tiers again? What were the tiers? I forgot.
A through F. So you have quite a few left.
I have E as well. That's odd, but I'll take it.
You want to put it at E?
I'm thinking because I don't think Pokemon's awful. I just think it's kind of mid. So I wonder if there's worse stuff on here, or if they're all just gonna be good. But E, I'm gonna give Pokemon E. I just don't think I love it that much.
That's fair. I'm kind of on the same boat with Pokemon. It feels like anytime I pick it up nowadays, I do get a little bit of that RPG-itis, even though it's not a traditional RPG. And I don't think it's that I even dislike RPGs so much. I think I'm just I don't have the time I used to actually enjoy them. And because I know that going in, I'm like, I can't even really start. All that said, though, I did start playing Expedition 33 this week, and I've been loving it so far. So every once in a while,
I love it as well.
Yeah, there's one of those games that breaks RPG boundaries to the point where anyone could get into it, and I think Expedition 33 is one of those for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving on, we have Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Oh, now this is rough because my branding's Kirby, but the thing about it is I don't even love the franchise of Kirby. I just I just think he looks cute, you know?
Yeah, can't blame you.
But I think Forgotten Land was actually the first Kirby game I played. So I just got thrown into the 3D. I know the whole series was 2D before. But yeah, initially I didn't love this game because I don't know, at the time I just wasn't vibing with it. But I've come back to the game, and I think it's kind of what's the game? Mario 3D World, in a sense. It's kind of like this complete linear package. And I think nowadays I appreciate linear games a lot more because it just gets to the point and it jams a bunch of mechanics down your throat. And I kind of like that aspect of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It's too easy, but it's it's just fun. It's kind of like a Nintendo game, really. Just keeps going.
It's interesting because you and I both are fans of 3D platformers too, right? And I think absolutely. I had a similar thing where when I first started playing Kirby, there's always that level of digesting where you're like, okay, I'm not playing a 3D platformer. I can't go in expecting a 3D platformer, at least in the traditional sense. Obviously, it is a 3D platformer, but compared to the bigger scale 3D platformer games, and I think once I digest that, then I'm chilling. Then I can play it and have a good time. Yeah. But there's always this transition period of well, why can't I go over here? Why is this a straight path? You know?
Yeah.
But I usually turn around. I do love 3D World, and I do love. I like Kirby's Forgotten Land a decent amount. You haven't actually placed this in a tier yet, have you? That's my bad.
No. When I compare it to other 3D platformers, I do want to say I don't think it's the greatest, but for what it is, I think it's a great 20 hours or so, 30 hours maybe if you complete it all.
Sure.
So I'm gonna have to go C tier. No, I'm gonna go D2. I'm gonna switch it up to D2.
Okay.
Not meaning that I hate it. These are just what I'm given. This is
right.
There's still a good spot. I think there's 2 more good games that you're gonna bring up, and I'm gonna hate myself if I put Kirby above it.
D for dog, right?
D for dog. Yep.
Okay, gotcha. So what you have remaining is B, C, and F. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because you put Pokemon in E. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, next up is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of glad I did that. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I mean, this is basically my whole channel, basically. All my I've been addicted to Mario Kart, and I didn't really notice it until I took a glance back at my channel. I'm like, this is all I kind of do now. Right?
A lot of people don't realize they have addictions until after the fact.
Yeah, and I get to zoom out and look at it. And I'm like, huh.
Right.
There's evidence right here. Yeah, so honestly, I think Mario Kart 8, I'm still weighing between Mario Kart World and Mario Kart 8, which one's better. But I do think Mario Kart 8 is undeniably a great game, and it's hard to like argue against it. It's hard. It's pretty easy to argue against Mario Kart World in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say B tier for Mario Kart 8. I love that franchise so much, and it's such a consistent experience. You'll have fun every day.
It's true. It's so applicable too. It's anyone can pick it up and play it and enjoy it, which is very admirable.
I've played with lots of different people, and still had fun with all of them.
Right. Props to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for doing that. Next up is Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Okay, so this is either C tier or F tier, basically.
That's correct.
I can't reasonably put it at F tier without knowing what's next. But
you don't know what the next game is.
Yeah, but I can't like. I don't think I can just predict what's coming next. And if it's like a 3D Mario game, I'm gonna kill myself. That's gonna suck. But Mario Wonder was also like Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It was a game where like I think going through the motions of it, I thought the levels were a little too short. But then like when I like took a step back, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is like it had so much in it, and now I like kind of see the value of like the badge system. Replaying the game with the badge system was fun. Getting all the star coins or whatever they're called was fun. And I think C tier is honestly like out of the ranks you've given me, I think C tier is like pretty accurate in general. So I'm like happy to put it in C tier.
Okay.
And just hope. I'm just gonna hope.
I'll take your word for it. Surprisingly, I have not played Mario Bros. Wonder. I really should at some point. It just has not crossed paths with me. The final game on this list, and perhaps this will come with a sigh of relief, or it will come with a cry for regret. It is Super Mario Party being designated to F tier.
Oh, that's definitely not worse than Pokemon. I will say that. I wish I put Pokemon in F, but I wouldn't. I'm not like crying over it. I'm definitely not crying over that game. Now I do like Mario Party there.
I find that interesting because it is while sold very highly, it is an often critically panned game. But to be completely honest, since we're creating a safe space here, I guess I've always thought like I liked Super Mario Party more than most people because I very much appreciated not so much the main game, but the side modes I had a lot of fun with. Specifically the river rafting, I really enjoyed. I don't know, my friends and I played that quite a bit. But also the cooperative mode where you're moving together or whatnot. I found enjoyment in that somehow. But I think it was just the base board game that didn't land with me.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. I think I have the opposite, but it didn't even really land too hard. I mean, I don't really care about the optional modes, but that's just me being a bit ignorant, I guess.
Did you have much experience with previous Mario parties?
Oh, yeah. I've played most of them. And I played a lot of the GameCube ones. I think those ones are my favorites.
Yeah, that was kind of a golden era right there.
Yeah, I didn't play it growing up as a kid, but I played it maybe as like a teenager or like young adult with some friends. And so those games are just special to me. I really like them. I don't know if they're like amazing games, but they're just like such fun.
But they speak value to the fact that you didn't grow up with them, playing them as a kid, and yet you still find those to be some of your favorite. And I think that speaks some volumes because we tend to cling on to that of which we grew up with. But I agree. The GameCube ones I think are incredible. The last thing I want to add to this little segment is a little bonus icebreaker question attached to it. Since you have Tears of the Kingdom at A tier and Super Mario Party at F tier, can you explain why you have Tears of the Kingdom at A tier, and then why you might put if Super Mario Party was F tier, why would you put it there, basically? And same thing with Tears of the Kingdom, except Tears of the Kingdom, you very quickly put in A tier, so that should be easier.
I mean, so basically you're saying like if it's in F tier, what are some F tier reasons for it? If
you genuinely believed these tier placements and not because you were forced to with the weapon and pressure, then why did you put them in these tiers?
Okay, well, Super Mario. Well, okay, I'll go with Super Mario Party first.
Sure.
I think I think that game was just such a. It was just obviously it had the extra modes and it had a lot of like add-ons, but I think it just starved for content after I played it. Like I was just waiting for more things. I think I got tired of the boards so quickly, and that like was a huge issue for me because it just became like tiresome to keep playing the boards over and over again.
Sure.
And I can't remember if that game had online or if it came like years later. But
it did come later, yeah.
Yeah, it came like later. That was like disappointing at the start because I really wanted to play it online straight away, but
yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely say the boards weigh that game down, and the economy. The economy in that game is terrible. You like can afford everything by like 3 turns in, and it just like I like the brutalness of the old Mario parties, and that
absolutely
just didn't have it. It was rough.
Yeah, well said. That's probably the best case scenario for getting F tier on this list.
Yeah,
just by how much you love the other ones. And then Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I mean, I really think. I mean, I get both sides of the argument. I get like what you were saying before, like you either love it or you hate it. But I really learned through this game, like I think it's intrinsically motivated to like get rewards and like go about it in different ways. And I feel like in a lot of games I play, I like have an idea for a solution, but like it's not really the intended thing, so it doesn't work. And I feel like I bounce off a lot of games like that. Tears of the Kingdom like rewarded me so much for like my thinking, and I feel like it just like I just understood the language of the game. Like I just understood it straight away, and I knew how to like spice it up every now and again. The game might not do that for some people, but for me, I just kept finding like different things out about the game. Like I remember finding out like there's these like muddle bug plants and you can like throw them at enemies and it like distracts them. And I just remember finding that like 40 hours into the game and being like, wow, like I'm this far into the game and like there's this whole new mechanic that's gonna like change up how I play.
Yeah.
I think
I think it's interesting how it's as opposed to Breath of the Wild feels very rich within the world that you're in, while Tears of the Kingdom, it's more about rich in player as opposed to the rich in the world. Like even the depths and the skies, while often criticized for being more empty, they both give you more freedom to make your contraptions and go about puzzles in your own fashion. Like the depths, you're not supposed to necessarily appreciate every inch like you do in Breath of the Wild's overworld. It's about creating ways to traverse it, not the actual destination that you're getting, basically. And I think that alone has made me give appreciation to Tears of the Kingdom that lets it stand out from Breath of the Wild. And I also get why people are like, well, that's still 2 more empty worlds that you add. And I'm like, I get that too. Like I can see where people critique it from, but I think there's something really special about it.
No, you nailed it with like the depths. I had that exact same thought where I was like, oh, I see what like this like kind of area wants from me. And it's not like I'm going to explore every nook and cranny here. I know like it's just a harder like area to do like tougher fights. And I love that.
It is a bit of a culture shock because that's what Breath of the Wild did really, really well. In fact, not just in the scope of Zelda, but even in the scope of open worlds. We had a lot of open world fatigue around the time Breath of the Wild came out, but then it kind of revitalized that by adding interest to every corner. So when we go to Tears of the Kingdom and we find that that's not the point of the game, I think it's just another thing where it's a little bit tricky to digest. But they're both great games in their own right. And I'm sure as time goes on, people might have a similar reflection to Tears of the Kingdom as they do with Majora's Mask. Maybe not as cherished as Majora's Mask, but in the sense that they can appreciate, well, yeah, Ocarina of Time did what you're supposed to do, but Majora's Mask did something different and cool, basically. And I think it's going to be the same thing with Tears of the Kingdom.
I hope so. Yeah, I would love that. I see it.
Well, Thank you for playing my silly little games. We can go ahead and to move on into some more meat and potatoes. Kirblae, what can I call you, Kirb?
Can I shorthand you? I actually like you calling me Curb. I didn't think about that. I like Curb. That nickname.
Yeah, it's just easier. It rolls off the tongue nice. Curb, what have you been playing recently? What's been in your library? What's been in your hands? What kind of games you been experiencing?
Yeah, so I have been playing quite a few games at the moment, but so I'm working on this video about going over the origins of 3D platformers. So I'm going through the first 10 3D platformers and just seeing how they rank up. And at the moment, I played Mario 64, then it was Crash Bandicoot. Now I'm up to Bubsy 3D.
That's where the journey gets a little rocky.
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, Mario 64 is like the 6th 3D platformer ever made, so there's actually quite a few beforehand, but Bubsy 3D it's shocking. It's awful. Sure. It really is. But I played that, and I played I think there was a Bubsy 4D demo that came out recently, and I don't know if you're aware of that, but
no.
It's like a revitalization, and it's a lot better, but I have a few issues with it. But no, it was cool to like compare those two to see how far 3D platformers have really come since the first 10, and that was cool.
I remember I just wanted like a little bit of footage of Bubsy. I didn't plan on talking about it in my own video so much, but just to get a little bit of footage, I played it, and usually if I'm just getting game for footage, I'll still get like 10 to 15 minutes just in case, like so I could play around with it, even if it's just like a 1-second shot. Bubsy, I couldn't bring myself to play 15 minutes. I played like 4 minutes, and I was like, I just don't want to play this anymore, and I shut it off. So hopefully I don't need much more Bubsy footage than I already have.
I can send you some. I can send you all the footage you want.
It's okay. I don't need more Bubsy on my computer. I have one file named Bubsy, and that's all I need.
I can send you the amazing water levels of Bubsy 3D.
No, that is quite all right. I didn't even know there were water levels, and I don't need to know.
There's so many. There's so many. It sucks. But I've also been playing I've been playing this indie game called Wheel World. So it's like a cycling game. That was on Game Pass, so I checked that out. Little neat cycling game. I think it's one of those games where I've become like pretty addicted to this type of game where I don't really need to focus on the game. I can just watch something in the background and just play it.
Right.
I hate that I do that, but I do it a lot, and I wish I could just lock into games, but sometimes I like a little chill game that's just like cycling through a field, Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Well, and that second monitor content is a real thing right now, and in a weird way, because I'm also similar where most games I play while I'm watching something else, and in a weird way reflects in my own content where it feels like I'm catering my style towards second monitor content in a way, not because I necessarily think that's superior. It's just, it's become my own interest and my own preferred ingestion of people's thoughts and feelings that I think it's starting to reflect in my own content where I'm like, oh man, does that mean I'm just boring? Where I'm making content that you're only supposed to watch on the second monitor? People don't watch Scott the Woz on the second monitor. They got that full screen,
Yeah.
But like for me, I just feel like it just makes sense for me to yap in someone's ears and they don't need to worry about anything else. I have really boring editing. I don't do anything flashy. Basically, I'm a very boring video creator. That's the point of this discussion.
Yeah. But there's a lot of value in it, so
apparently,
it's great.
I also
it's great.
Looked up the game you're talking about because I felt like I heard about it before. This game looks rad. Just looking at the imagery, that looks pretty dope.
No, the art style is kind of the main selling point to me, and then I was like, oh, okay, because I don't love cycling, but I was like, I'll try it out, and it just it was fine. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
And it it was great.
Well, any others you wanted to mention, or should I list off some?
The only other one would be I've been doing Mario Kart Free Roam. I've been going back to that game. and I've pulled up a map and I'm trying to 100. I'm not trying to 100% it, but I'm just trying to do a bit more content. And
so, would you say you're generally satisfied with the free roam mode in it?
I mean, like, there's huge flaws, but like going back to like intrinsically motivated, I am like very not like set back by how stupidly designed the open world is.
Sure.
So I can like brush that aside, and in a sense, I think it's better than DS mission mode in a lot of ways, and I kind of like the open world. So
I'm gonna be honest,
say coming back to it,
Perhaps my hot take is I think there are a lot of things better than the DS mission mode of Mario Kart, but I understand a lot of people really cherish that for some reason. I don't get why, but that's okay. I see some value in having something you can aimlessly turn off your mind while exploring. I used to do that in Kirby Air Ride. Kirby Air Ride is what it's called. A long time ago with my siblings, and we'd all hop on there and we would just do the free roam in that. What I am surprised though is that Mario Kart World doesn't have multiplayer free roam, or at least, sorry, it doesn't have local multiplayer free roam, which to me that was a little baffling, because I was like, that's the perfect sibling experience right there.
It was absolutely baffling. And they showed it off in the trailers, and it like it really seemed like it straight away. But like there's no like guarantee that Nintendo will do like online or multiplayer like perfect at any point. Like it's just never good. And they always make like weird decisions, so I accept it, but I'm just like, the slam dunk was just right there and you messed it up.
It's true. That is true.
Yeah,
I may get Mario Kart World some point down the line. I just rented it recently, but maybe it'll be a mainstay if it goes on sale at some point or something. But also I don't know. I'm a very casual Mario Kart player. I usually don't feel the need to get every single installment, so maybe I'll wait this one out. We'll see.
That's fair.
As for games I've been playing, I mentioned I just recently started playing Clair Obscur Expedition 33. One of those games that immediately blows you away when you turn it on and start playing. You're like, oh my gosh. And you finally understand, like, just within like 20 minutes, you finally understand this is why people are saying this could be game of the year, because like it's wow, just wow, like jaw dropping. I'm very early in. I don't have much to say. It was one of those things where I was like, I get it now. Like my eyes had been opened. I was like, I understand what people are talking about now, because this just from the first 20 minutes seems phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
No, and to me, like, I'm pretty far into the game, and I won't spoil it, but I think the pacing of mechanics it introduced are just so perfect that like you're like, oh, there's more to this, and then oh, there's even more to this, but it's not like too overwhelming, because I don't like RPGs, and like I'm not a huge fan of getting like a bunch of text dumped on you, but I think the way they spread it out makes this like a really special game, because I love it.
It's RPGs seem like to me one of those things that my heart was born to really, really enjoy, but my brain very much does not, because I'm impatient. I like real-time activity as opposed to long-term strategizing. So anytime a RPG can bridge that for me, it's usually ends up being like a phenomenal game for me. Similar things with like Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, just that small little bridge of adding some more real time into an RPG. I'm like, oh, boom, I'm there. Undertale, adding bullet hell to other RPG mechanics. I'm like, boom, I'm there. I just need this small gameplay shift to make me enjoy RPGs, because I love worlds and I love stories and I love characters. So I'm always on the verge of loving these games, but I need something like Expedition 33 to come along and just hook me in, and then I'm set, and then I'm all good, and I'll invest in it. So yeah, I've been enjoying that.
No, it's great.
Yeah. And that's the only one really worth talking that I haven't talked about earlier. So I think with that, we're ready to get into some headlines, if you're ready.
I'm definitely ready. Let's go.
So starting off, we have some smaller headlines today. Recently, Shigeru Miyamoto came out of the movie making crunch and decided to do an interview talking about Mario for their new Nintendo Museum book. This is a headline from the videogameschronicle.com. He'll constantly evolve. Nintendo creators discuss if Mario can reach 100 years. That might be a little bit of a confusing headline, but essentially what they're talking about is Mario as an IP existing for well over 100 years, which at this point seems very, very plausible to me. Just with the amount of steam Nintendo's built up and the amount they have reinforced Mario as an IP specifically. There's no way Mario doesn't make it 100 years, I think, at this point. But essentially, he also mentioned that it's going to require games to constantly evolve with Mario, even though he is beyond just the video game sphere and now entering movies and theme parks. He's still adamant that the interactive portion of Mario, that being the game, still has to evolve in order to facilitate that 100-year mark. Which, yeah, it's just interesting. This has been kind of a recurring theme on the show because I brought it up once and more news starts coming out around this area. But I've been basically talking about how Mario is becoming a lot more like Mickey Mouse in a way where it's just an entity that exists as opposed to being tied to anything in particular. And I think seeing comments like this talking about them reinforcing the brand and trying to get them to that 100-year mark just further emphasizes that point of Mario is Mario. It's nothing else, basically, or it's everything else in a weird way. Anything you wanted to add to this?
Yeah, well, like, I sort of never really was in, like, the, I guess, headspace. I don't know. I wasn't really aware of, like, Nintendo as, like, a corporation till the Switch era. But it really does seem like that was the first era where they started approaching things a lot more standardized and like a lot more brand friendly. And I mean, like Mario lasting 100 years, I didn't even really think that he wouldn't, you know? I just like, I think Mario has that staying power from Nintendo, and Nintendo I think they're like one of the richest companies in Japan, so I really don't see any way that like they sink. But it's weird to think of Mario as that because for so long he was just like in these games, and I don't know what I think of that really. I don't know what I think. I'm confused.
For a while, for us who were playing the games before the Switch generation, you know, in a weird way, it felt like we were a part of a little bit of a niche, even though Nintendo by no means was a niche in the gaming sphere. Obviously, it was one of the top dogs. Still, to the broader public, it kind of felt like we had this thing that not everybody had. And there's this little cult of fascination towards Nintendo IPs where we held value to things like Mario and Link and Donkey Kong and rest in peace Star Fox. You know, we had these little connections to them that not the rest of the world had. But ever since the Switch generation, where it became an incredibly high selling console to not just gamers but also everyone around the world, and then their expansion towards movies, theme parks, mobile games, suddenly Mario is a bigger part of people's lives than just gamers. It's now more broad, and it's going to continue to get more broad, basically. In a weird way, I understand what you mean when you say you don't know what to feel, because you can't help but feel a little bit of a somber tone when you feel like something that was more personal and personalized towards you grows and reaches a bigger capacity to the point where it's no longer personalized specifically to your tasting, when you feel like, well, I've been here since the beginning, you know? So I definitely can't help but feel that here and there, even though it is good that other people get to experience it. There is a sense of like the Nintendo I knew is very different now. And, you know, it is what it is. It's fine. It's just,
I also do wonder what like type of way they're going to push the brand. 'Cause right now, like, I think movies make sense. Like that's like something I get, and theme parks makes sense. I guess it's just like, but I don't know what other ways they're going to push the brand. And I think my biggest concern of Mario becoming like an IP is that they start to forget about the games as much. Or they don't put as much of a focus on the games. And like we've been waiting like, I don't know, a while for like a 3D Mario. And I feel like in the future that wait might get longer and each series might be longer. I don't know. Like that's the thing. I just don't know if that's how they're going to function. But that's the worrying part, is that like they get into the cereal business or something. They're making Mario cereal and stuff.
Or if they decide to stop making their own hardware, which seems unlikely right now because they've one successful generation, then seemingly another really successful following it. It's unlikely that they would stop their own hardware anytime soon. But how many bad generations do they need to the point where they're like, well, let's just put Mario on everything else, like smartphones. Let's put Mario on the thing that's in everybody's hand, and us gamers know what happens when video games go into smartphone mode. But so yeah, there's always a little bit of wonder with that sort of expansion. You also occasionally get worried about IP becoming stronger than content in a way. Like we buy more into this idea of, because it's Mario, it's good, as opposed to, hey, this Mario game's really good, this one's really bad. And I feel like you almost see like maybe some droplings of that happening with, I guess, especially maybe with like Pokemon, not to criticize a series that I don't play much of, but you can't help but wonder how much of that brand loyalty is carrying this perception of good games in that series specifically, as opposed to whether or not they're actually just genuinely good games. So I think it's understandable to feel concerned as a gamer who has, games with Nintendo their whole lives, that like this direction is no longer going to be pointed towards us. It's no longer personalized towards that experience. But at the end of the day, when we talked about games we've been playing, you brought up an indie game. I brought up a different game or whatnot. We still got other games that are bringing the heart and the feels. And I feel like Nintendo isn't the only one doing Nintendo stuff anymore in a weird way with indie games, because they're tying into that. So
indie games have been inspired by it,
Right,
like
definitely.
Indie games now are inspired by Nintendo of the past, which is really interesting. Like for indie game output, you get to see a lot of cool stuff, which is great.
Yeah, the amount of amazing Metroidvania games we've gotten because they were inspired by Metroid and Castlevania for that matter. But I think mostly a lot of them take from the Metroid playbook. Some of those have become considered like one of the best games of all time, like Hollow Knight. The people cherish that ridiculously. And a lot of that is because they're making what Nintendo don't. They're going back to what they saw as the glory days of Nintendo. And I'm all here for it. Indie games, absolute bangers these days.
And if you don't get attached to IP, then you can just truly you can find the games that you're searching for from the brand, but you just got to attach the IP. So I guess
for all of you out there that really miss Star Fox like myself, you can find a handful, like a good, maybe like 5 or 6 indie games that follow Star Fox 64 type gameplay. And all the ones I've played have been such fun, and I recommend you look it up. Just look up Star Fox, alternatives, Reddit, add Reddit to the end of your search. You'll find, everything you're looking for.
So true.
But yeah, I didn't mean to stay on this forever. It's just, it is interesting seeing them plan that far ahead. Obviously not planned, but, getting ready for Mario to be a mainstay for IP, or as an IP for generations to come. Next up is a smaller bit of headline, but kind of personal to me because I love Metroid Prime. But Metroid Prime now has a art book that has been published recently covering the first 3 Prime games. That includes some commentary from the Metroid Prime games director, as well as some commentary from people at Retro Studios. And it's a physical art book you can get. It's not that expensive, surprisingly. And I'm kind of like wondering if I'm about to make a bad decision because it's something I really want. But I also know it's not something I need. So, and I already pre-ordered Metroid Prime 4. So I don't know if I want to add another $50 to that.
You gotta nerd out about it. You just gotta nerd out about it. You gotta own it.
It's something I know, if I had in my hand, I would look through the whole thing. But, I just bought the other game. I'm not trying to buy $100 version of the game with the collector's edition like they do sometimes. But also it's not gonna stay this cheap forever. I don't know. Anyways, it came out. It's cool. You guys should check it out if that's something you're interested in. The only other thing I wanted to mention about that is that with some of that commentary, some new light was shined on Nintendo's involvement with Metroid Prime specifically and how they worked with Retro Studios. This is a headline from IGN. The video game we are making is now a Nintendo game, in quotes, it says. Metroid Prime producer Kensuke Tanabe reveals creative tensions with retro and new book. Essentially, to paraphrase, and you guys can check out the article for yourself if you want to read the whole story. It's a very good read. But there's essentially a lot of tug and pull between retro studios and Nintendo. Nintendo trying to ground it in Nintendo values, while Retro Studio very much was trying to push it towards what games were playing at the time. And this is the kind of story you hear a lot with Nintendo, where they're trying to put their games onto weird Nintendoisms. You know, you always hear about things like Super Mario Galaxy 2 and various other games that have completely changed because Nintendo wanted their own weird little touch to it. I think this is one of the case scenarios where that was a big success in a sense, because Metroid Prime truly is not like any other game out there. And I think a big part of that is thanks to the stubbornness of Nintendo pulling retro away from modernizing stuff, while retro is also pulling towards modernizing Nintendo's strange ways of thinking. And I think this might be one of those cases where it threaded the needle to create just an amazing experience, basically.
That's interesting. Yeah. I'm interested in that because I thought what you were gonna get at is maybe the game could have been better, but if you're the other way, that's interesting. I always wonder what like the tug and pull is between them, but in a lot of cases, it seems like that can be really beneficial. Because I'm trying to think of, I think it was Perfect Dark or something, which was an Xbox game, and that just like sat in development hell, and like then it got cancelled. Where I feel like if Xbox did something about it, then maybe, you know, the game would be out. So I see value in that method, but I always wonder if they're doing too much and just taking away from the value. And Nintendo are kind of restrictive on what they do, so it's hard to know for sure.
Yeah, and that's why I use the term threading the needle too, because it seems like something that could go wrong in either direction pretty easily. Yeah. But I think this is just one of those cases where Metroid Prime, you know, it's not to say Metroid Prime's a perfect game. I have some personal gripes with it, but just the vision of Metroid Prime, it feels like you would need a tug and pull to get to the vision of Metroid Prime. Like it's hard to envision that going in because it's so in between genres. And it just happened to find that sweet spot of towing the line between both, and very appreciative of that. Even some small things though, I guess Retro really fought for Morph Ball to be in it, because Nintendo was kind of against the idea. Like, we don't really want a Morph Ball, but they're like, no, trust me, this is going to work well. And then eventually they won over Nintendo. Like, now we have the 3D Morph Ball in Metroid Prime, which crazy. Is one of the coolest things about Metroid Prime. I don't know if have you played Metroid Prime?
I left this out, but I've actually I started playing it recently. Oh, okay. I kind of forgot though. I played it like for a brief period really recently. So I know of it, and I have the ball. As you get, I'm glad you got the ball. As you get through it, I'm sure you'll start to appreciate the maneuvering in 3D with the Morph Ball around, because if you really think about it and think of all the ways it could have gone wrong, and the fact that it works as well as it does, it's just like, wow, that's really cool. And I don't want to spoil exactly why, but you'll get to certain parts where you're like, oh, that's really cool. So just cool things like that. I love hearing about this post development discussion talk, and I think it's cool that we can see an example of this really succeeding, because Nintendo's stubbornness is both their enemy but also their friend. It's what makes them themselves, for better or for worse, and this is one of the cases where it was for better, you know. Yeah, and also I'm kind of curious on what like the story behind Metroid Prime 4 is going to be. I wonder if that's there's been tampering with it, or what went like. We don't know if it's going to go bad or good, like the game so far, but like I wonder what went wrong with like the game taking so long. Oh, that's really interesting to me. Plenty of stories long after the fact, as previous retro developers have already told so many stories about the development of the previous. I'm sure we'll get similar with Metroid Prime 4, and we'll finally know what the heck was going on to make that game take as long as it did. Or maybe for why they refused to market it as much as they refused to market it. Did you know it's coming out like soon? Because I know that because I'm interested in it. Yeah, I know that because I'm interested in like the big Nintendo games each year.
Right.
But and this one I will pick up. I just feel like I'm drawn to it. But I can see for a lot of people might not know it exists or might not care because it's just not being pushed.
Right now, the Metroid subreddit doesn't have a lot to talk about because there hasn't been much shown. So all they're talking about is how they're mad that the marketing is not showing anything for the game. So that's just their talking piece because they got nothing else to go off of right now. It's just, well, let's bash on the marketing. It's like, all right, well, yeah, fair enough.
Oh my God.
Our next piece of headline is very, very, very small, but it just, as of recording it, I heard about it today, so I wanted to bring it up.
Okay.
But Zelda Breath of the Wild soundtrack is scoring a gorgeous vinyl release next year. That is a headline of Nintendo Life. So basically, they're putting Breath of the Wild soundtrack on a vinyl disc. I don't have a record player, but the idea is cool. I will say it is funny of all Zelda games to get a record or a vinyl release that Breath of the Wild is one that is very musically, how do I say, restrained, not necessarily
like lacking.
bad. Just I don't even know if I would say like purposely lacking, right? Withholding in a way because they want the elements of the game to speak louder than the music through most of the game, and that's why I think it's interesting. That's like I imagine putting that on a record player and listening to it, and there's just like the little piano commentary, the da 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 da, and I'm like, is that really something I want to like put on to listen to? But I don't know. I guess some people also love studying to it and stuff like that, so I don't know.
I don't get the appeal of vinyl, but I'm sure there's like valid reasons for it, but I don't get why you would listen to specifically that either on vinyl. Yeah,
you probably got to be a big audiophile to really answer that question. I am not. I barely know how to record a podcast, and even then after the episode goes up, I'm like, did I edit that right? I have no idea. You guys can let me know if you guys know if I'm doing something wrong with the audio. Tell me. I can learn. My ears barely work anyway.
Tell me as well. I forget stuff.
There you go.
I don't know how it works.
That's just a small thing I wanted to bring up since it was so fresh. Another small thing is comes from My Nintendo News. The headline reads, YouTube X account, which I'll paraphrase. Sorry. YouTube Twitter account says that they hope to be offering it soon on Nintendo Switch 2. Essentially, the YouTube account on Twitter replied to someone saying, whilst YouTube is not on Switch 2 yet, we hope to be adding it soon. And that's it. That's the entire story, folks. Possibly YouTube sense. Is coming to Switch 2.
Yeah, because I had YouTube on Switch 1 and I was trying to like access it and it wasn't working. I thought it was just an error. I had, but that's interesting. I don't know if that's a huge issue though.
It's weird. I definitely think children's safety concerns is what made them originally remove it. So it's interesting to hear if they want to bring it back for Switch 2 apparently, or maybe Team YouTube is like just saying, hey, we want it to be on there. It's not us, it's Nintendo or something. It's not actually confirmed if it's coming to Switch 2 or not. But Nintendo seems to not be on board with the streaming services as of late. In fact, they even had a Twitch app for the last one for a very short period of time, like a couple years, and then just nuked it off, and now you can no longer watch Twitch. So Nintendo seems to be more restrained on letting kids watch stuff on the system. Yeah, I imagine the kids is the main reason for this. I could be wrong.
Very
Maybe
safe
there's more
with
business decisions. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that goes anywhere. Could just be YouTube saying things. You never know.
Yeah.
Next up, guess what? Another small headline. But Xbox reiterates its support for Switch 2. That's a headline that comes from Nintendo Life. Essentially, a spokesperson at Xbox. I can't remember if it was Phil Spencer or Phil Spencer. He was basically saying, we are making efforts to lower the barrier to entry for people to play our games through services like Xbox Play Anywhere and Xbox Game Pass. However, if there are people who want to play on games on the PlayStation 5 or the Nintendo Switch 2, we would love for them to play our games on those platforms. In that record, we have received excellent support from both Sony Interactive Entertainment and Nintendo. So this is coming after recently announcing that the next Halo game, Halo Campaign Evolved, is going to be playable on PlayStation 4. While they didn't confirm that it's coming to Nintendo, hearing them talk about wanting to support their games on Nintendo and hearing that Nintendo is also apparently supportive of Xbox having more games to release on it means that it's a possibility that after some time is taken to optimize the port, maybe the next Halo game would come to the Switch 2, which would be monumental in terms of the gaming, in terms of gaming history. To have Halo release on all 3 consoles, that's insane. Xbox is doing a bunch of weird stuff though, so it's like, why not? You know, at this point in time, Xbox is like, just throw spaghetti on the wall and see what happens. And I think that'd be really interesting if Halo came to a Nintendo console. Like it feels weird to say. It feels like what are next people going to be asking Master Chief to join Smash Brothers because it's officially been on Nintendo console, you know? Like
that'd be cool.
It's just a weird thing.
No, that is weird. Yeah, Xbox is weird at the moment. I don't get what they're doing at all.
Yeah.
Like I don't see what they're trying to do.
Podcast, just so I could talk about it every week, because every week it's a new weird headline from Xbox.
Yeah, it's like there's outrage, there's like confusion, there's just like some good stuff thrown in. But apparently
still a new Xbox console coming at some point, which at this point everyone's like, why? But yeah, it's Xbox. What is going on over there, man? It's weird stuff.
It's like they totally wouldn't lie to us either.
No,
I've never done that before.
Never.
No, no, it is weird.
It is weird, but I would love to see Halo on the Switch too. I might buy it purely out of curiosity because I don't play a ton of Halo, but the Halos I've played I've enjoyed, so you never know.
Fair enough.
That's gonna do it for our headlines. The last thing I wanted to ask you is what upcoming games are you excited about, whether they be for Switch 2, Switch 1, or any console in between that isn't Nintendo? Are there any games that you're eagerly looking forward to?
Well, we went over Metroid Prime 4. I don't know why I'm excited for it, because I actually don't really love Metroidvanias. I'm trying Metroid because I've heard it's a bit more linear and it's a bit more easy to go through. But I don't know why. I'm just excited for Metroid Prime 4. It seems like a Nintendo game with the sauce. That's like the best way I can put it. It just seems like it's going to be fun.
And I think there's something I imagine exciting for people who haven't really gone into the Metroid Prime series specifically to see something so anticipated come out to where they want to join in on that fun, even if they have no experience in Prime games. You know,
it's just the hype train. The hype train is the hype train.
Yeah, see, that's a much simpler way to say what I said. I took 20 words, you described it in 2, and that works.
That's my Zoomer brain just getting the quickest route to the words.
Right.
There's that. There's Kirby Air Rise. Still haven't played the original. But yeah, just once again, I gotta start like supporting Kirby, like Kirby, my boy. I gotta start supporting him, and like I love the idea of it, and I don't know why I haven't played it. I think it's because I want to play it with friends, and I just don't have like the means to do that unless I like buy it secondhand. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So I'll be excited for when that comes out. I'm sort of excited for Bubsy 4D, but I'm not even sure if I'll get it. I'm just excited. I want to see the discourse on it. I don't really want to play it. I just want to see what people say about it.
Intrigued than excited, maybe.
Yeah, because now I've played Bubsy 3D. I'm just like, I want to know like what people think of the series. Like, do people actually care, or is it just like a meme? No. I'm not really sure.
I don't know either. I just know that 4 minutes was a rough 4 minutes that I played. It'll be interesting to see who actually buys 4D, because maybe the Bubsy fans out there exist. I haven't been to their subreddit, but maybe they're out there.
They gotta be. They gotta be.
They supposedly gotta be.
Yeah. Also Tomodachi Life 2 or whatever, Living the Dream.
Yes. Yeah.
That is the Me game. That's like one of those games I'm just so hyped for. I played like the original when I was like not a kid, but like maybe a teenager. And I was still like at the perfect age at that time. I just loved messing around with it, and I still think I have that, and I think I'll still love this game. Even though I'm an adult now, and I'm depressed, but I still think I'll find joy in it.
Did you ever get a chance to play the mobile game Mitomo before it was moved off?
I didn't. I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna be honest.
So in like 2016, when they around when they had Pokemon Go, they also had a much less popular app called Mitomo come out. Obviously, Pokemon Go is not necessarily Nintendo's game, but Mitomo was like Tomodachi Life light, like a super light version of Tomodachi Life. And I had never played Tomodachi Life, so when I was playing that, I was like, this is a cute, charming game. I have my Mii, I can send messages to other people. And I was actually kind of enjoying it. They had question of the day and stuff. And it was only up for like, I want to say less than 6 months. They shut it down so fast.
Wow.
And I don't know why, but
that's just weird though.
Yeah, very weird. Recently, I was looking at the sales report of how much money their mobile games have made, and it made like it was in the millions of dollars of revenue made, which I know is not like a huge amount compared to the other mobile games, but like it's not like it wasn't making money. It's not like they're running at a loss. It was a really light game, but I always thought that was interesting. They tanked it quick, so I was very surprised to see Tomodachi Life get a Tomodachi, not Tamagotchi. That's a different thing.
Oh yeah.
See it get a sequel is cool. I don't know if I'll get it. I like me games existing. I just don't know if I'll put money towards it. I want them to continue to be out there for other people, and so that I could be like, Mii's are not forgotten. But meanwhile, a life simulation game is just not really up my alley. So I don't know if I'll partake.
I think it will make for a really good streaming game. So I think like if people don't get it and you have like a favorite content creator or whatever, me or Pat Nat, obviously, you can just watch them play it, and like I feel like that's pretty good because it's not much of a game. It's just like an experience. So I think it's gonna be cool.
Streamers found a lot more runway, a lot more longevity out of streaming Animal Crossing New Horizons than I expected. But back, when that game was getting streamed, that was pulling in numbers too. People were very interested in watching this life simulation game. So I'm sure Tomodachi Island has a chance to. This is why I just call it the Mii game. The Mii game has a chance to pull people.
Mitomo 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Mitomo 2, yeah. Not to be confused with Miitopia, which I have played the 3DS one. I have yet to play the Switch one. Honestly, I should. That's on my list of things to get around to. So I do want to experience that one.
It's an RPG. That's the RPG one.
I think it's kind of RPG-esque, yeah.
Yeah. That one I have no interest in, but good luck. I would say.
I like how we have interest in Mii's in completely different areas. And
Yeah. I love the Mii torturing games,
Right. Speaking of torturing, I'm going to torture our listeners by letting them know that we are officially finishing the podcast, but I do want to announce to them that if you are watching this on YouTube, you can also listen to this anywhere, any podcast app that you listen to podcasts on, and if you already are, I applaud you. You can also watch us on YouTube. There's also the Pat Nat Games Discord server where you can discuss anything we've discussed here in depth, or get into arguments and fight and tell me I'm wrong to my face, all of which I will be prepared for. And thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much, Kirblae, for joining me. Where can people find you if they want to hear the origin of your voice today?
Well, I'll keep it simple. I'm just on YouTube under Kirblae. Hopefully it's spelt in the title. And I also have a second channel, Kirblae Corner, which is a lot more chill. So check out either one of those, but definitely check out the main channel. There'll be some cool stuff there soon. Yeah. Also, I should mention one of the videos I was in, so you guys should check out that video. You gotta watch it.
Ranking every 3D Mario stage ever. You guys
Sandbox
should check it out, and then you'll hear a lot of other people, but eventually you'll hear me. So it's worth giving the view duration to Kirblae for. Okay, so stick around, wait for my voice, and then just leave it on repeat in the background. Yeah. And that'll do it.
Crazy.
Thank you, everyone. Take care, and so long.
Sick.